Welcome, Nikki. Thank you so much for joining me for this conversation.
You're so welcome.
I'd love for us to start with where your journey with me began. If you can tell us a little bit where you were in your life when we connected for the first time.
Yeah, of course. I remember coming to you, Gulara, and having a little bit of in-person Reiki. And I think it was really in I think we had 4 sessions together that I really realized how numb I was
Mm.
and how very armored I was. And that's what really came through in those sessions. I think the sort of very strong armor that I've been wearing and almost looking at you and saying, will I ever feel again, Galara? Will I ever be in a relationship again?
Yeah.
And you looked at me with calm confidence and said, you will, you will. And I wasn't quite sure whether to believe you.
Fair enough.
But I left those sessions and even pretty straight away, I remember going to the playground of at school and just having a very simple conversation with another parent and feeling connected from my heart. And suddenly I remembered, oh my goodness, this is how I used to be. I
Yes.
used to relate to people from this place,
Mhm.
and it really sparked and opened, okay, this is what I need to find in my life again, because I hadn't realized how desensitized and disconnected I'd become.
Mhm. Yes.
And I kind of worked out that I was really, even the sensations in my body, I couldn't really feel them anymore.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I was trying to do quite sensitive healing work where you might use those kind of sensations, but I couldn't connect to them in that at that time.
Yes. Yes. And I remember it was quite a difficult time in your personal life, with your health as well. You feel comfortable to tell us a little bit about what was going on?
Yeah, I had an experience where my life kind of crashed down around me, and all of a sudden I went from, being a teacher, being in education, to suddenly mm, I had 2 strokes, so I had quite big health things to deal with. And also I was in a relationship that was very, very challenging
Mhm.
and really not good for me anymore, wasn't serving me.
Yeah.
Um, and it was a very, very stuck and very scary place to be.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. It was
yeah,
a lot to hold.
yeah.
And then what
So there
happened
were,
in terms of your journey?
and then I guess um I think I really, around, engaged in my own personal healing.
Mm.
And that was very much, a place for creating the space to reconnect with some of those feelings that actually I needed and that would serve me, in our our anger, our rage, all of those kind of big feelings, which are maybe a little bit more tricky to acknowledge and feel.
Mhm.
Sometimes I needed them and I needed them through my body, and I had to go about that in all sorts of ways, like from dancing to
Yes.
to but to I kind of learnt how much they serve us and how to hold boundaries in a more effective way.
Mhm.
Um, and so I gradually learned how to be more effective in that kind of space. And it was those boundaries that I learned to put in that did shift things.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
they weren't just any like they had to be really quite skillful boundaries as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
It was a very challenging situation. So um, yeah,
My sense was that all the in-person work we did with constellations, because you came and trained with me as well. There was so much embodiment that happened where you were like really starting to trust the body, trust the process, trust that even despite all that numbness and shutdown that would come in, you were able to kind of connect at much deeper level, and to trust that knowing, right? I felt like that's when things started unraveling, and there was a big process of self-empowerment when you applied for a divorce. And I remember one of the court hearings were during the retreat, like the timing of it coincided, and so that we were able to hold you to move through all those points of transition.
Yeah. And I remember in one of those retreats, I think there was some kind of some an incident happened outside the retreat room, and yeah, to be held actually in time, in space, in
Mhm.
that moment was just so powerful.
Yes.
It was to be witnessed and supported and held was just transformational.
Mhm.
Really, really was.
Yeah. And it was amazing that you did all that in-person work, and there was a lot of movement happening just from that in terms of personal relations. You started kind of opening up to the possibility of doing more client work with your kinesiology, and you have created this amazing tribe of sisterhood where you still connect and do work together as peers and support each other. So on the face of it, it felt like, well, you've got what you need. And then I was offering my intergenerational trauma healing method, and something prompted you to come for more. Do you want to tell us what happened?
And then it was like dropping another level. I mean, I love deep work. I'm so committed to my own personal journey now because felt the power and the transformation in my own life that the intergenerational trauma was just, oh, this is a chance to go even deeper. And so I was hungry for that at some level, but it also came at an absolutely perfect moment where um I think I'd had my third stroke, so it was another kind of phase of healing for me. And I had this sort of, and now I see what a gift of time it was, where I could really drop another level deeper. And I did lots of work, and it was like what I needed to sort of identify and see where these very old patterns were coming from
Mhm.
that I'd been playing out, um and to let go of some of those really deeply held ancestral burdens,
Yes.
karmic patterns that were holding me in at that time.
Mhm.
Um, and so yeah, it was extraordinary timing really
Yeah. It
that
was
that
like
came along.
there was like a rude wake-up call. And then you kind of could dedicate yourself, like suddenly time and space opened up where you were able to take time away from the work that was stressing you out and creating pressure on your health, as well as there were still court hearing and all that going on because it wasn't complete, the process. And then from what I recall, you came to the training, and as things started unraveling, you were able to complete that process with divorce and separation and settlement in your favor, coming from a place of, I'll just walk away from everything, to the place of, actually, I deserve to be supported and receive support, as well as you were able to gradually reduce your involvement with your job that wasn't serving anymore. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything else you
it's
want to add?
yeah, no, I mean it's so true. It's like that was a job that I absolutely loved at the time, and it served me in that time, and now I was ready to take the next step, and I like letting go of that was a really big process for me, and taking the leap and switching into this new phase where I'm starting my business, and um was a really big process for me, but it gave me the confidence that I was on the right track, and all of that sort of ancestral stuff had to go in order to get there. And um for me it did take time and space to really look at that and clear that. much more.
Yes, I
But
remember when you were off work, you were kind of listening to the library of resources every
it
day,
became my new
all
job
day.
quite quickly. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And it paid off because everything shape shifted. You
Hmm.
left the job, which felt like it felt like such a long way away, and there was a lot of uncertainty about, can I really do this? Can I support myself and my family through doing the healing work? And you proved to yourself that you could. You started attracting clients, and you've woven the whole ancestral healing into things that you do with other people, and they're experiencing big shifts and keep coming and referring. But um, then the level two came about, and you kind of were not sure because by then you were already doing things. You were quite active. You were posting on social media, and you were like, well, not quite sure. And yet you said yes. And what happened after, Nikki?
Yeah, as you were speaking, I was just thinking, oh, it would be nice to just sort of acknowledge like that work that I did around, and you supported me to do around love and money and receiving love
Mhm.
and money was really key to that divorce process because, I think it really helped me to stand in my ground and get, I got legal aid support, which was quite extraordinary,
Absolutely.
and has helped me so much. And like you say, the divorce settlement came out a lot more in my favor because I stood my ground with it
Yes.
in a different way than I would have before.
Yes.
And that wasn't just for me, that was for my family, that was for my boys. And
Yes.
I look back now and I think I really have served them by doing that work.
Absolutely.
Um, so that was a big sort of personal piece. And
Mhm.
then you're right. I remember sitting and you kind of offered me the course, and I was like, well, really, do I really want this?
Do I need to
But
do another course,
need to
Gulara?
do another course, another course. I'm really good at doing courses. I'm always doing courses. I love learning.
Yeah.
What do I? So I was like, I'm not just going to say yes because it's another course. But then, of course, um, I realized it was that piece around, well, yeah, you've got your healing practice at a certain level, but are you really a businesswoman? And I came from a background in education, so for me, the course has just been incredible for giving me a map, a structure to right. This is the development. This is the five phases of business you talk through, and identifying where I feel I am now. Where that helped me identify. Okay, so this is my focus at this point in time. This is my point of growth.
Wonderful.
Just give yourself permission to be in that place,
Mhm.
and you can kind of maybe get a sense of where you're going, but right now you're here, and this is a really helpful thing to work on. And that level of structure, I think, was has been really key over the last kind of 5 months or 4 months because it's I could have just been drifting around really in
Mm.
terms of business growth,
Yes.
but that's given me a holding and a structure
Mhm. Yes. And
to
also
focus my attention.
some of the clearings, like there was such an immediate shift in you. I remember when we did the clearing on visibility, and suddenly, like you had 10 bookings coming in, like out of
Yeah.
blue. Yeah.
It was literally like that. It was like all of a sudden my contact form on my website was pinging in and people were suddenly appearing. And but not only that, so then there was the visibility part that was
Mhm.
really, really supportive. But then it was what to do afterwards, because then of course my nervous system kicked off and said,
Yes.
"What? Clients coming? Oh my goodness. And then
I really wanted this, but slow down.
and so
Yes.
there was a next piece of support around that as well. And so it's like over the last few months I'm getting sustainable growth. That's what it feels like. Okay, you are gradually expanding into this place of sustainable growth, both for your capacity
Good.
um as a healer and as a mum, because I've
Yes.
also got that to juggle and balance,
Yes.
and and for my nervous system to know that you're not going to put yourself back in that place where you were
Mhm.
because you burnt yourself out in the past. So um yeah, there's that sort of sensitivity of holding has
Mhm.
been, I'm really grateful for that because it's allowed me to be where I am.
Nice. Thank you, Nikki. Yeah. And I remember where you were, like this sense of fear, like, oh, I can't let go of the job because I might have to leave this house and I might need to get a mortgage and I need the job and how am I going to provide for the kids? So to come from that, and that wasn't long ago, it was only a year ago or so. And here we are, you have a sustainable business where people coming, loving your work, raving about what it is that you do and wanting more. And there's this trust in life. There's this kind of
That's
confidence
it.
in yourself in the process that things are coming and I've got this. Like it's such a beautiful transformation to witness.
No, bless you. I think that that captures it really well, that kind of trust in the unfolding. And for my particular journey, in some ways it feels, when I've been in it, it feels like it's been very slow
Sure.
and very gradual.
Yes.
Maybe not if we look back over it and see what I've done in the last 3 years, actually it's massive, but in the moment it can feel like I'm having to be very patient and I'm having to let things unfold. Um, but I think, that's allowed a real deep look at my own things personally, and that's going to serve whoever I serve in the future, I think. And so yeah, that's another piece that I wanted to say, I think, was around, the depth at which I've had to go with you is really supporting the clients that are now coming through the door.
Yes.
And it's amazing how they're almost going there quite quickly and they need that level of healing.
Because that depth is in you, right? You're embodying that depth and you're modeling it and you're able to take them because you have walked this path. It wasn't an easy path. You had to work hard at it. Like you really applied yourself. You did the work and it's
Mhm.
paying off, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't happen overnight. And when it was happening
No.
and you were in it, it just felt like trickle, you just
Yeah.
like, oh, can I move through this? And here you are on the other side, the happiest I've ever known you. And
Mm.
you're thriving in every area of your life, which is incredible to witness. Most importantly, do you want to tell us about more recent developments?
So in October it was, and probably must have been just before I started our
Right.
intergenerational two one. But yeah, I have a new relationship in my life and I have a lovely, kind man in my life, which is so
Oh,
fun and so lovely.
yes. Good.
Yeah, I'm very grateful. And that felt, I mean, that's a piece that I've been working on for a long time in
Mhm.
all sorts of different ways to get back from that shut down, broken-hearted, betrayed kind of place
Yes.
to receiving in and trusting
Yes. And
again.
being cherished and adored and loved and just kind of it's so magical to witness from going from that first Reiki sessions when we had and you saying, can I ever have that?
Mm.
To actually living that now.
It is extraordinary when I think about it, isn't it? It's just amazing. Thank
Yeah,
you so
yeah,
much.
you're so
Oh my
welcome.
goodness.
Yeah, I'm celebrating you and your life and all that you do and bring to other people. Thank you for doing the work. Thank you for doing the work for
Mm.
you, for the boys, for your loved ones, for your clients. The ripple effect, it just goes on and on, doesn't it?
I think that's the beautiful thing, isn't it? So when, as a mum, you want to do that work for you, yes, but you want to do that work for your children
Yes.
and you and your family and I'm lucky I have lovely relationships with my family around me, but I also have seen subtle shifts in those relationships for the better,
Yeah,
So those kind of family healings, um, you get to experience them.
yeah. You become the
Ev-
cycle breaker, right? Like it stops with you. And
Yeah.
then your kids can do so much better when it comes to love, money, and everything
Mm.
else.
Yeah, I've seen their lives open up in terms of possibilities, and I'm watching more and more them stepping into their joy as I step into my joy.
Yes.
And it's just so beautiful. It's so worth it. All of that hard work and treacle.
Yes.
So worth it.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nikki. Thank you for having this conversation and
Thank you for
sharing your
thank you
story.
for yeah, thank you for you, and thank you for walking the path ahead of me and showing me the way.
Well,
I think what I really wanted to sort of honor like the depth of your own journey and exploration, and how, I mean, I could have spent lifetimes trying to work out all of those things that you give me in a crystal clear message. But, it's like as an educator, I'm always looking for the core messages in learnings, and just if but you simmer things down to core messages. And I remember the piece you did about group healing.
mhm.
It's like you just need to know these two things. And if you simmer it all down, just know these two things. And it's so helpful to have that clarity and confidence. But I know behind that simmering is a heck of a lot of work.
Practice. Practice makes perfect. Great. Thank you so much, Nikki. I really appreciate your openness and vulnerability and sharing your story. I trust that this will serve many people.
Mm.
Just hearing the story can be healing in its own right because it gives people permission to know and also hope to know that things can change. However difficult they might be right now, things can change dramatically, very quickly if you do the work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1,000%.
yeah,
They really, really can.
right. Thank you.
Thank you.